Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are going to tackle about global demography by yours truly. For those who have not yet known me, I am Jocelyn Sina and I am a licensed professional teacher and my subject of specialization is mathematics. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and hit that notification bell button para lagi kayong updated pag meron tayong bagong upload na video. So let's start. Demography is one of the sciences na invent and it means that the study of human population. It is very far from the study of animal population. If I am not mistaken, I think it is ecology of animal population. Pero pag sinabing study of population with regards to sa ating mga tao, ang tawag doon ay demography. Demo means people and graphy means measurement. So, if we're going to put that together, demography is the study of human population in relation to the changes brought about by the interplay of births, deaths, and migration. Hindi lang po about human population, may mga iba't ibang aspeto din po yan. And if you're going to pertain to demography as the human population, ano ang nandyan? Ano ang pinag-aaralan sa demography? Isa sa mga pinag-aaralan sa demography ay demography studies of human population, their sizes, composition, and distribution across space, and the process through which populations change. Isa sa mga pinag-aaralan sa demography ay population size, composition, and distribution. Why do the scientists need to study the population size? Or ang kapal ng tao, bakit kailangan nilang pag-aralan yon? And the density of people, no? Yung bigat or yung dami. And how people live together. Social mobility, the fertility, the mortality, the migration, pag-uusapan natin yan. Why we need to know and study it? Bakit kailangan natin malaman yung mga ganyang bagay? At bakit natin kailangan pag-aralan? Why demography is one of our contemporary issues we're facing now? For example, is overpopulation. It is one of the world issues. Ba't kaya nagkakaroon ng ganyan? Why do we have to study such matters, no? Demographic change concerns everyone, no matter what age, gender, or where you come from, or how a society is shaped and what effects has on our future, on the future, are big questions within demographic work. The demography is very important to us. So let's check. Let us know the importance of demography or gathering demographic data. So first, it is important because it allows us to understand past trends but also plan for our future developments of society. For example, it is important for the economy because it helps us to know more far the growth rate of the economy is keeping pace with the growth rate population. If population is increasing at a faster rate, the phase of development of the economy will be slow. So, pag tumaas ang or bumilis ang pagtaas ng population natin or ang bilang ng mga tao, syempre, yung phase ng development ng economy natin ay magiging mabagal. Through the help of demographic data, the government can control the growth of population, no? And accelerate the development of the economy. So, yan. And next, it allows us to know the health status of the community. For example, in your area, sa lugar nyo, no, how many got sick through COVID-19? How many of them feel symptoms before they found out that they are positive in COVID-19? No, yan yung mga pwede nating tanong natin sa sarili natin, no, kung bakit importante ang demography. O ilan ba dyan yung mga naka-feel muna ng sintomas bago nila nalaman na ano sila, positive sila sa COVID-19. Now, through the help of gathering demographic data, sa pagkakalap ng mga data your barangay heads will assert those issues properly. So, dahil sa tulong ng pagkakalap ng data na yon, no, yung mga barangay heads nyo sa lugar nyo or sa barangay natin, masusolusyonan nila or ma-assist nila ng maayos yung issues para masolusyonan nila ng maayos, no? So next, planning of different services. For example, in your area, there are a group of people na gustong mag-conduct ng feeding program. They gather first the demographic data for them to know which specific area will go first, no? Syempre, magkakalap muna sila ng mga data kung sino ba dito yung may maraming bilang ng mga bata, no? So, they will go first dun sa specific area na may mas maraming bata, no? Because their priority is the area which having the greater number of children rather than the area with the least number of children. So, yun yung mga naitutulong sa atin ng demographic data. So, ngayon, alam na niyang grupo na yun kung saan sila pupuntang lugar. There are 5 processes in gathering demographic data: fertility, marriage, mortality, migration, social mobility. Fertility demographic processes, the increase in the number of live births. It can be annual, by 2 years, etc. in gathering the demographic data. So, fertility is the quality of being able to produce children. As a measure, the fertility rate is the average number of children that a woman has in her lifetime and is quantified demographically. Fertility factors are determinants of the number of children that an individual is likely to have. Fecundity, meron tayong tinatawag na fecundity, no? It is the number of times that a woman can give birth to a child in a year. So, for example, no, ang babae daw ay pwedeng manganak ng 2 beses sa isang taon. Halimbawa, si babae daw ay nanganak ng January. Nanganak siya ng January. Nabuntis siya ulit. So, possible na manganganak siya by December. So, 2 times a year. So, yun yung tinatawag na fecundity. So, next. Mortality. It refers to the level of death within a population. In demographic usage, it is the frequency of death in a population. Ito ba yung, ilan ba yung taong namatay dito sa lugar na to? Ganyan. As measured by the numbers of death and the death rates characterizing the population during a particular period of time. So, by this January, ilan ba ang namatay sa ganito, ganyan. Why do we need demographic data in mortality? Bakit kailangan natin ng demographic data sa mga death, sa mga patay, no? To know what is the cause of death in order to assert and give solutions. For example, sa ganitong lugar, sa lugar nyo, by January and February, maraming namatay dito. So, kailangan mo ng demographic data kung ano yung cause ng death nila. Pwedeng heart attacks o baka mamaya COVID-19 para malaman nila or ma-assert nila at maayos nila or magkaroon sila ng magandang solusyon, no? Or kailangan ba nilang i-isolate yung lugar, kailangan ba nilang i-lockdown for a certain period of time yung lugar. Kaya yun yung naitutulong ng demographic data, yung pag-gather natin ng demographic data. Para malaman natin kung ano ba yung karampatang solusyon na gagawin natin. Marriage. It is a union between individual people, the legally or formally recognized union for 2 people as partners in a personal relationship. Another demographic purposes is marriage. Or should I say, another demographic process is marriage. Again, when we say process, it is a series of action or steps to contribute in gathering demographic data. Ano ang sinusukat ng demography? And one of the processes of demography is marriage. Marriage is a social factor that causes change in population of a particular area. For example, if a woman married to foreigner, the population of origin decreases, no? Yung dun sa babae, yung lugar ng babae, magbabawas. Syempre, married na siya dun sa foreigner, whereas the population of her husband's country increases. So, yung pag nagpakasal siya kay foreigner, syempre, kasal na sila or married na sila, yung magmamigrate na siya ngayon, no? Or lilipat na siya or sasama na siya dun sa foreigner. So, ngayon, yung lugar nito ni babae ay mababawasan yung bilang ng population. Ngayon naman, dun sa may lalaki naman or dun sa husband niya, madadagdagan naman or mag-i-increase yung population kasi madadagdag siya, no? So, yun yung mga processes ng demographic data natin, no? Or demographic processes natin, which is yung marriage. Isa rin yun sa nakaka-apekto or nagkakaroon ng changes sa ating demographic data, ang marriage. So, next, migration. Human migration involves the movement of people from one place to another with intentions of settling permanently or temporarily at a new location. It is going from one country, region, or place to another to pass periodically from one region or climate to another. As certain birds, katulad niyan, no? Birds, palipat-lipat na yan ng puno, ng pupuntahan, bundok, ganyan. Fishes and animals. And migration helps us improving the quality of life of people. It helps us to improve social life of people as they learn about new culture and languages, which help to improve brotherhood among people. Migration of skilled workers leads to a greater economic growth of region. Yan. So, mga nagmamigrate sila. Siyempre, bakit ka ba nagmamigrate? Para kumita ng malaking pera. Or kaya, mas malaking sahod doon. Siyempre, doon ka na. Diba? Yung mga ganyan. So, next. Social mobility. Social mobility is the movement of individuals, families, households, or other categories of people within or between social strata in the society. From the word itself, social structure, social stratification, it pertains to the people or mass of people. Mobility means gumagalaw. Social mobility means paggalaw ng status ng tao. What do we mean by status of the people? If that person is still dependent on his family at his age of 0 to 4 or at the 15 to 28, nagtatrabaho na ba yan? When he reach 30 to 40 to 50, ano ng status niyan? Pabanjing-banjing na lang ba yan or nagtatrabaho pa rin yan? This means that there's a movement on social status. For example, mayaman ka before COVID-19 spread out. Then, you lost a job. Nawalan ka ng trabaho or nalugi yung kumpanya mo. You lost an income. Yan ang demographic process. Or, it is one of the factors in gathering demographic data because the social status of people or mass of people can affect economic growth. In economic growth, very essential dyan ang demographic data. Why? Yan ang basis or basehan sa paggawa ng batas. Sa paggawa ng economic trade laws or laws about politics. That's why demography is very important. So next. Why poorer countries who had so many kids and hence high population growth? Bakit yung mga bansa na mahihirap, yun pa yung mga mararami yung population? Like here in the Philippines, our country is still a developing country. We're not yet developed because the developed countries are what we call the first world country or the industrial countries. The Philippines is one of the poorer countries who had so many kids and hence high population growth. There are many reasons why. So first, need for large families. Kids need to work. So we have the connotation, no, that if you are having many kids, you can pay much debt. Or kung marami kang anak, marami kang pangbayad utang, mas maraming pwedeng magtrabaho. Pag mas maraming pwedeng magtrabaho, mas maraming pwedeng mag-income. Yan yung mga connotation natin. Yan ang madalas na connotation dito sa Pilipinas. Mas maraming pwedeng magbigay sa'yo ng pera, which is wrong. Bakit sa China, meron silang one-child policy, pero sila pa rin ang pinakamaraming population sa mundo? 'Di ba? So, next. High infant mortality. Kids might die, so better have lots. Maraming namamatay na bata. This means that the population growth here in the Philippines is because we are believing in the connotation or most of the Filipino people naniniwala na baka mamatay anak ko, much better na mas maraming anak ko. Kasi kung mamamatay man yung anak ko na isa, at least may reserba pa, o 'di ba? Yung mga connotation dito sa Philippines. Kaya lalong tumataas yung population growth natin, no? For example, sa mga liblib na lugar tulad ng bundok. Mga hindi nabibigyan ng medical supplies, yan. Hindi naaabot ng medical team. Puro hilot-hilot lang. Kaya maraming namamatay na bata. And the solution to that problem is proper health care. Diba? Para hindi mas lalong dumami pa yung mga mamamatay na bata. So, next. Low status of women. Husbands can have their way. Thus, the reasons of gender development was formed to have an equal opportunity to men and women, and regardless of sex or gender that we have. The more dominated are the men rather than the women in many aspects. Why? Who got the first job? Men. Who attend school first? Men. In short, women are discriminated. Therefore, if the men are more dominant than women, ang gusto nila ang nasusunod. So, pag gusto nila lalaki makipagtalik sa asawa nila, walang magagawa ang mga babae because they lack of political, economic, social power, and that's the reason why there's so many kids. Kaya lalong tumataas yung population natin. Kasi syempre, mas dominant yung mga lalaki. Pag sinabing ni lalaking ganito, sunod naman si babae. So, next. Lack of education about contraception. Isa to sa mga dahilan. There is a story that a medical team goes to a place where they educate residents about contraception or how to use contraceptives like condom. So, they conduct lecture in front of the residents on that specific barangay, no? May mga nag-lecture daw doon na ang ginawang model na nagle-lecture is itong daliri niya sa harap ng maraming tao. Na itong condom daw ay ilagay nyo dito sa daliri nyo. Pero para di mabuntis yung asawa nyo. Now, many months passed by. Lots of women got pregnant in that area. Why? What happened? Naturuan na sila kung paano ang tamang paggamit. O meron na silang awareness and education about condom and contraception. So, ang ginawa ng iba, habang nagtatalik sila, nilagay ang condom sa daliri nila habang nagtatalik sila. So, ngayon, wrong ang connotation, mali ang perspective, hindi masyado na-inculcate sa mga tao ang tamang paggamit ng contraceptives. So, yun ang nangyari. Kaya lalong dumadami yung population natin. Lack of education, kulang tayo sa knowledge sa mga contraceptions, hindi lang sa condom. Okay? Religious opposition to contraception. Growing population because some of Filipino people are conservative daw. They justifying the Bible and the religion. Kaya hindi sila gumagamit ng contraceptive. So, isa rin yun sa dahilan natin ng paglobo ng population. Lack of pension plans for old people. Kids become the pension plan. Yan na. Ganyan talaga ang buhay, no? Hindi lahat may pension kasi pag di nakapaghulog sa SSS, GSIS, or kaya ang ginagawang pension ay ang mga anak. The best gift you can give to yourself or to other people or to your loved ones is a life insurance. Kaya dito na kayo mag-apply sa akin. Sa Sun Life, okay? Maliwanag ang buhay. Tumatawa tayo, pero totoo yan. At least, pag nawala kayo, wala nang poproblemahin ang mga mahal nyo sa buhay. Kaya hindi na sila mahihirapan maghanap ng pera, panggastos, sa pambili ng kung ano-anong gagastusin para sa iyo if you die, no? If I were you, talk to a financial advisor and plan your future. Yan ang pinakamagandang gift. So as you can see here, no, the world population growth. Based on this graph, in 1900s, there are 1.6 billion siguro people around the world. Why is there small size of individuals at that time? Bakit konti lang yung tao ng mga panahong yan? Because yung kamatayan nila hindi natural death or because of a natural death, not because of old age. They died because of war, like World War I, pinasabak sila sa military or whatsoever, kaya mas konti yung population. Or yung iba naman, lahat ng lalaki kailangan maging militar or kailangan maging matutong lumaban, ganyan, nilalaban sila. Kaya, hindi sila namatay on a natural death or yung mga heartaches, mga pagtanda, ganyan, hindi sila namatay din. Kaya, mas maraming namatay ng mga panahon na yon at naging mas konti yung mga tao. The mortality rate was high then, mas mataas ang mortality rate noon because there was no proper healthcare. Walang proper healthcare. Dahon-dahon lang, okay na. No? Therefore, many people die due to infections. Kaya maraming namamatay na tao noon kasi wala tayong proper healthcare. Dahon-dahon lang, okay na. And then, we had penicillin. Many people were cured by penicillin. Therefore, the world's population continues to grow. Nung na-invento yung penicillin, syempre, mas marami na ang nagagamot sa mga bakbakan, mas marami na ang gumagaling. Kaya, yung world's population natin nag-continues to grow. At this time, we have proper health care to cure old age. Many people live long lives because of new technology or apparatus we have today. So mas marami nang mahaba ang buhay dahil sa mga bagong teknolohiya or mga aparato, no? And now, when there is more population around the world, what will be the implications of that? How the people affects global aspects, contemporary issues, no? So let's check it out. So how it affects global aspects. Economy and population. The 1980 United Nations Report on Urban and Rural Population Growth states that 85% of the world population in 1975 and are projected to contain 90% by the end of the 20th century. Our population is continuously growing. Why? Because the processes of gathering demographic data like what I've discussed earlier, the fertility, mortality, marriage, migration, and social mobility, it affects our economy and population. How? Paano? If we have proper health care, less people will die, therefore, we have low rate of mortality. If we have proper health care, we will have high fertility rate because hindi na hilot-hilot lang. Marami ng doctors ang makakapagpaanak ng safe, no? When it comes to marriage, in China, they have this marriage market where is yung mga babae ay i-arrange ang marriage because China believe that the more population they have, the more workers will earn. But according to more scientists, social anthropologists, and demographers, population growth is inversely proportional to economic growth. O, ibig sabihin, kung tumataas ang population ng isang bansa, hindi ibig sabihin na tataas din ang economic growth. It depends upon the situations. And many philosophers and demographers have different opinion when it comes towards population growth. And one of them is Robert Malthus, was an English economist and demographer. Kilala rin siya sa kanyang theory na Malthusianism or tinatawag na Malthusianism, which is population growth is potentially exponential while the growth of the food supply or other resources is linear. Our population increases exponentially. This means our population multiply and the food production will also multiply. So kung nagmo-multiply or dumadami yung population natin, kailangan yung food production din natin ay magmo-multiply. And if it will happen, our resources will dwindle. Ibig sabihin, mauubos or kukunti. Other resources is linear, which eventually reduces living standards to the point of triggering a population die-off, no? Siyempre, kumukunti na yung resources natin. So, yun yung magiging dahilan na yung mga tao mamamatay na, and there will come a time na we will be practicing cannibalism. What do we mean by cannibalism? Yung pagkain mo ng mga kauri mo. Paano ang kainan ng mangyayari dyan? If there are new babies born with illness or ailment or having defective like blind, deaf, cleft palate or near to death situation. Ang mga bagong panganak na bata na may mga sakit or may mga karamdaman or malapit na mamatay, it will be ground. Igigiling ba? Put it in a can. Ilalagay sila sa can. And it will distribute it to others. Ipapamigay yun sa ibang tao to become our food para maging pagkain natin. And it may happen because our resources can't provide enough food for a couple of billions population globally in the near future. Posibleng mangyari yon. And that's economy and population. The perils of overpopulation, urbanization, and industrialization as indicators of a developing society, but disagree on the role of population growth or decline in modernization. By limiting the population, vital resources can be used for economic progress and not be diverted and wasted to feeding more mouths. Kapag mas marami ang tao, mas marami ang kailangang pakainin. Or mas marami ang kailangang pagkain, kaya mas marami ang pakakainin, depende yan sa age structure or quality of people na meron ka. Kung ikaw man ay ang presidente. For those people na mapapakinabangan ba or hindi na? Are they contributed to the economic growth or they are just waste, no? For example, presidente ka ng isang bansa. Merong dalawang bangka. Nakasakay dun sa dalawang bangka na yun. Sa isang bangka, yung mga doktor, nurse, engineer, architect, yan, yung mga matataas na tao. And then, yung dito naman sa isang bangka, ay yung mga tambay, yung mga walang trabaho, yung mga walang silbi, yan, yung mga tao na yan. Ngayon, kung ikaw papapiliin, alin dyan yung isi-save mo? Yung boat A ba o yung boat B? Siyempre, doon ka na sa mapapakinabangan mo or yung merong silbi. 'Di ba? Hindi ka pipili ng tao na wala man lang maitutulong sa iyo, no, or papakainin mo lang. 'Di ba? So, yun yung mangyayari dyan. Global migration. Crossing the boundary of a political or administrative unit for a certain minimum period. Most of the scholars of government, pinag-aral ng gobyerno, become public school scholar. Now, hindi man lang mag-return of service, maski ilang taon lang, and pumupunta sa ibang lugar at ang nakikinabang sa kanila ang ibang bansa. Most of them are teachers, nurses, doctors. We have lots of healthcare problems. But why are they migrating to other countries? Bakit sila nagmamigrate kung mas kailangan sila dito sa Pilipinas? What are the causes of migration? It's because of employment. Low salary, low income, low compensation, uunahin daw ang pamilya. Kaya para mabigyan mo ng seguridad ang pamilya mo, mag-enroll ka na sa life insurance ko para hindi masayang yung pagod mo sa kakatrabaho tapos wala kang naiipon. No? Feel free to send me a message kung gusto mong kumuha ng life insurance. Global demography greatly affects the contemporary world. The bottom line here is because of demography, because of the factors of demography, it greatly affects the contemporary world. The movement of people, the choices of people that they are making, the policies, health policies, political policies, economic policies, all of that because of overpopulation. All of that affects on the contemporary world. For example, one of our demographic issues nowadays is COVID-19. There's a lot of people die, maraming taong namatay because of COVID-19. That's why the demographic data of mortality rate rapidly increasing, or yung demographic data ng mga namatay na tao, yung mga namatay na rate, no, nag-i-increase siya ng mabilis dahil sa COVID-19. Maybe that virus was made for us to decrease the world's population para mabawasan ang tao sa buong mundo at makapagpahinga ang kalikasan sa mga abusadong tao. Alright? And I hope you learned something today from me, and I hope I enlighten your mind when it comes to global demography. Thank you so much and have a great day.